Presented by Listen Headlines. Latest financial news from trusted sources. Updating daily noontime New York City.
New York Times Business.
June 13, 11:18 America, New York. Disney loses bid for the rights to stream Indian Premier League cricket matches. The streaming rights, which sold for nearly $3 billion, went to Viacom18, a joint venture between Paramount and Reliance Industries. Kieran Pollard of the Mumbai Indians during the Indian Premier League final match in Hyderabad, India.
BBC News. Business.
June 13, 11:02 America, New York. Ukraine war. Russia earns $97 billion on energy exports since invasion. A report warns of potential loopholes in efforts to limit use of Russian oil and gas.
BBC News Business.
June 13, 11:02 America, New York. Ukraine war. Russia earns $97 billion on energy exports since invasion. A report warns of potential loopholes in efforts to limit use of Russian oil and gas.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
June 13, 11 o'clock America, New York. NY Fed survey finds jump in near-term inflation expectations in May. Households believe inflation 1 year from now will be 6.6% higher, up from the 6.3% projection seen in the April data and the highest level seen in a survey that goes back to 2013.
New York Times Business.
June 13, 11 o'clock America, New York. Microsoft pledges neutrality in union campaigns at Activision. The accord could ease the path for thousands of workers to unionize at the game company Microsoft as acquiring and addresses an antitrust objection. Microsoft agreed to remain neutral if any of Activision's roughly 10,000 employees wanted to unionize.
BBC News Business.
June 13, 10:34 America, New York. Lloyds Bank staff to get £1,000 to help with cost of living. More than 64,000 workers at the bank will get a one-off payout, following a campaign by the Unite Union.
BBC News. Business.
June 13, 10:34 America, New York. Lloyds Bank staff to get £1,000 to help with cost of living. More than 64,000 workers at the bank will get a one-off payout, following a campaign by the Unite Union.
New York Times Business.
June 13, 10:17 America, New York. S&P 500 falls into bear market territory. Live updates. Fears about inflation and economic growth are pushing markets lower.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
June 13, 10:15 America, New York. COVID-19 variant shot from Sanofi, GSK shows strong response to Omicron. Results from 2 new studies are the latest indication that tweaking vaccines can nudge antibody responses in the direction of new variants, possibly helping to shore up immunity as the virus mutates.
Global economy.
June 13, 10:06 America, New York. Recession, defensive investing. The trend of the world is nigh. Investors must be prepared. There is plenty of room for markets to fall further.
Wall Street Journal Markets.
June 13, 10:03 America, New York. LNG prices will steam up again. Prices of the fuel have mostly trended lower since hitting highs this past spring. But that is unlikely to last in a fragile market.
Daily FX Market News.
June 13, 10 o'clock America, New York. S&P 500, NASDAQ 100 drive into an APOS, bear market and APOS, territory ahead of the Fed. Stocks have been smashed since last Thursday's late session sell-off began as there's been growing expectations for a 75 basis point hike in July.
Wall Street Journal Markets.
June 13, 9:47 America, New York. Charles Schwab paying $186 million in regulatory settlement over robo-advisor business. The SEC faulted the company for not disclosing enough about a practice of keeping some client assets parked in cash.
Daily FX Market News.
June 13, 9:30 America, New York. DAX 40, Dow Jones, FTSE 100 Outlook. Talking points, analysis and charts. Risk-off sentiment grips the market as the Fed interest rate decision looms. Digital finance.
June 13, 9:26 America, New York. Nature's Vault offers digital gold of another kind. Blockchain startup looks to replicate trading gold in a bank's vault by never mining the actual metal. The post Nature's Vault offers digital gold of another kind appeared first on Digital Finance.
Global economy.
June 13, 9:24 America, New York. Retail fuel market faces probe by UK competition watchdog as prices soar. Competition and Markets Authority to conduct urgent review of how prices are set at the pump.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
June 13, 8:46 America New York, Prologis to buy Duke Realty in $26 billion deal, including debt. The agreement follows an increased offer in which Duke Realty shareholders will receive 0.475 times a Prologis share, up from Prologis's previous exchange offer of 0.466 times.
Armstrong Economics.
June 13, 8:25 America New York, private blog. The Dow, Slingshot, War. Private blog. The Dow, Slingshot, War private blog posts are exclusively available to Socrates subscribers. To sign up for Socrates or to learn more, please visit ask-socrates.com.
Global economy.
June 13, 8:15 America New York. Insurers will have to bear the risk of getting grain out of Ukraine. They need to be convinced that any naval corridor established in the Black Sea will be safe.
Marginal revolution.
June 13, 7:25 America New York. Direct instruction produces large gains in learning, Kenya edition. In an important new paper, Can Education Be Standardized? Evidence from Kenya, Guthrie Gray-Loeb, Anthony Keats, Michael Kramer, Isaac Mbiti, and Owen Ozier evaluate Bridge International Academy schools using a large randomized experiment.
Daily FX Market News.
June 13, 7 o'clock America New York, Euro price forecast. Tough task for ECB as periphery spreads widen, Euro USD below 1.05. The euro is in for a tough week as the Fed becomes increasingly more hawkish, leaving Euro USD skewed to the downside.
Wall Street Journal Markets.
June 13, 7 o'clock America New York. Soybean prices hit record as inflation stays hot. Soybean prices have soared some 30% this year, a surge that promises further pain for consumers facing the most severe bout of food inflation in a decade.
BBC News. Business.
June 13, 6:03 America New York, petrol prices hit new high as urgent review ordered. Concerns continue that a 5p fuel duty cut is not being passed on to drivers quickly enough.
BBC News Business. June 13, 5:43 America New York, petrol prices hit new high as urgent review ordered. Concerns continue that a 5p fuel duty cut is not being passed on to drivers quickly enough.